They're off and running now. Okay, now we've got the Formula One on the move. Now, the object of it is to thunder their way down to pylon number 1. First airplane that we see, we will be calling off for you. There's George Redding. First airplane that looks like it's the English history. Robin. Up on the back stretch. Here we come around number 3.
For over 40 years, Formula One has been a fascinating part of the air racing scene, having lasted for over half the time air racing has been in existence. The grand and glorious Thompson Trophy race was in trouble in the late 1930s because of the shrinking supply of new airplanes. Some veteran race pilots and designers came up with a plan for a class of racing that would be easy and inexpensive to build and operate. It needed to be structured so that it would be competitive for a long time. They proposed using any of several four-cylinder engines in the 65 to 80 horsepower range, then in production with unrestricted modifications. But World War II began before anything could be done to implement their ideas. When the war ended, the first races were flown in 1947 at the Cleveland National Air Races, as shown in this rare newsreel footage.
Flown in 4 elimination heats, 2 semifinal heats, and 1 final race, the Goodyear took 2 days of flying to complete. With their power limited to engines of 190 cubic inch displacement, most of them Continental C-85. Some of these tiny planes, making the most of design and construction, reached speeds of almost 200 miles per hour. Crossing the finish line, Bill Brennan zooms off into the wild blue yonder, flying the Whitman Special to victory. Mutual Admiration Society, Brennan and Whitman. Goodyear President P.W. Litchfield awards Brennan the Goodyear Trophy.
In 40 years, there has only been one significant change to the rules. In 1968, the maximum engine displacement was increased from 190 to 201 cubic inches, thus allowing the use of the Continental O200 engine rated at 100 horsepower, in place of the hard-to-find Continental C85 engine. This meant racing RPM of closer to 4,000 and a boost in horsepower from 100 to about 120. Never in air racing history has a new idea worked so well. Today, they're still building in basements and garages, but maybe with not as much rib stitching. The development of carbon fiber and new fabrication techniques has only added to the growth of the sport. Bob Drew, pilot of number 2, Freeburg Special.
Some of the composite materials that we have today, graphite, carbon fiber, are very, very strong. They're like metal, but they're very light. So we start with a racehorse start in these airplanes, so acceleration is very important. And also when we're in the turns pulling G's, the less weight you have to pull through the turns, the better performance. This airplane is partially aluminum and partly the front end, the cowling system is fiberglass. Then the rest of the fuselage is aluminum. The tail, the empennage section is aluminum. The wing is full composite with carbon fiber and fiberglass. It's a 90-pound wing as opposed to a wood-based wing that we had on it before. And so this gives us an advantage.
Ray Cody, pilot of number 4, Alley Cat.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that the big advance is composites. We knew they were coming, and we're actually out there doing things with composites that are featured in some of the most recent commercial airplanes.
Over the years, I've seen substantial improvement in performance. I was racing in the Nationals back in the 50s. A good time was 185 to 200 miles an hour, and now we're seeing, 240, 250 miles an hour.
Bill Rogers, secretary of the Formula One Group, reports on what it takes to put a Formula One race together.
Generally what we do is we get an aerial of the airport that you're considering for the race course site, and we lay the course out right on the airport map that you give us and make sure that's okay. We have all the criteria based on FAA guidelines so that we know it's safe and it'll be approved by the FAA for the waiver. And then we need to negotiate the price and all of this kind of thing. The insurance is usually merely an additional premium on the basic air show insurance. So we have that pretty much worked out.
Formula racing is as exciting today as it was 40 years ago, as with the 1988 Gold Race at Reno called by Sandy Sanders.
Okay, the first one off of the floor, we get Jim Miller. By the end of the bad air in there as he gets 14 off. And now goes down to the center pylon, getting that nose down, trying to get up over that 100 miles an hour so the airplane starts feeling a little more comfortable. The airplane, John Dusty down, winging into that scatter pylon. There we see the man taking the lead right now, but will he hold on to it for very long? It is Texas Jim Miller. Remember though, we haven't even started the first of this 8-lap race. There is Scott Morrison Sahara, followed by Alan Preston. Then John Dusty Dowd is fourth. Bob Bruin's fifth. But that airplane high on the outside is John Sharp and Aero Magic. Then Errol Roberson. And in the last place airplane is Bummer's Bullet with Bill Bowman. All right, now, as we come around pylon number 4, remember, they cross start-finish line. This time, we've got that first one going of 8 fast and furious laps. Preston starting to make the push already on Jim Miller. Then Scott Morrison against Sahara. John Dusty, John Miller, Bob and Errol Roberson. And Bill Bummer coming on the last place airplane. Now as we pick him up in the background. Preston again, little long tapered wing on the shoestring design. Number 44. Years ago we referred to as the Wagner Special. Fought by Ray Cody for many years, known as Judy's airplane, and now known as Sitting Duck. But the race number's the same, number 44. Jim Miller knows he's going to have his hands full today. Let's see who's going to come out of this exchange. Just heading in forward, that's there almost, and he does. He goes right off the third pylon, and all of a sudden, just look at him move away. Jim Bumford up there, he apparently has power, pulled out, he might have had heating problems. Well, listen to this, 244 miles per hour. He has got Sitting Duck perking today. Alan Preston coming around pylon 6. The checkered flag is waving. Ladies and gentlemen, Sitting Duck number 44.
Alan Preston of Dallas, Texas, takes the gold for 1988 in his number 44 Sitting Duck. With the 1988 season coming to an end, it's time for pilots and crews to make their journeys home and begin the process of making changes, whether it be building a new wing, shaving some weight here or there, or constructing a new racer. The end result is to be the fastest, which is what Formula One racing is all about.